Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, guys, for the latest in boxing. You know, guys, when it comes to boxing fanboys, it never amazes me the type of stupidity that comes out of these particular boxing fans, you know, opinions. You know, the things that they think of their favorite fighter. The way they perceive their favorite fighter. The way they perceive other guys in his division. You know, the way they treat this man, their favorite fighter that is, as if he's some immortal god. Now, I want to make one thing clear. When I'm talking about boxing fanboys, I'm not talking about boxing fans. Hardcore boxing fans. So if you're watching this video and you're a hardcore boxing fan, do not get offended when I say things like call a fanboy a delusional fanboy. Because I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about the fanboys. A boxing hardcore, if you're watching this video and you're a hardcore boxing fan, then clearly you're not a fanboy. So I'm not, you know, calling you delusional. You are logical. You think logically. You know, even if you are a fan of a fighter, you know that that fighter is not immortal. You know that he's not invincible. You know that he could do no wrong. And, you know, he's not unbeatable. And, you know, he's not Jesus, basically. Because you have the ability to think. So, again, when I call fanboys delusional, just keep that in mind. I'm not calling you delusional. I'm calling boxing fanboys delusional. When it comes to Joshua fanboys, you know, a lot of these guys are just writing Joseph Parker off. Like, I mean, I saw a poll online that the majority of these fanboys are so deluded. They're so deluded that they give, you know, the fictional character Rocky Balboa, they give him more of a chance on beating somebody like AJ than Joseph Parker. You know, they gave guys like The Undertaker more of a chance than beating someone like AJ than Parker. Basically, these Joshua fanboys believe that nobody in the heavyweight division right now could even compete with Joshua. Nobody. They think Wilder won the last 2 rounds. They think Parker is a pushover and he's going to, you know, get stopped within 5 rounds. You know, they think anyone who presents a threat to Joshua is easy money, easy work. Now, when it comes to fanboys don't think logical. And a lot of them are scared. A lot of fanboys, I tend to notice, they're very scared type of boxing fans. They know that there's a fighter out there that could beat their favorite fighter. They know this. So the fear, so in order to like keep them, you know, delusional, they go around saying stuff like, my fighter's unbeatable, nobody could beat him. And they go around pointing out all the flaws of every fighter or every guy they perceive as a threat in their favorite fighter's division, you know, just to try and make themselves feel better. Because they're like, oh shit, you know, although I think this guy could beat him, let me just talk shit about let me just talk about the bad qualities of this guy just to make myself feel better, so I could feel like my favorite fighter is going to have a chance against this guy. You get what I'm saying? That's how these boxing fans are, and that's how they think. It kind of reminds me of like when Mayweather and when Floyd Mayweather Jr. and Manny Pacquiao were fighting. When Floyd Mayweather Jr. and Manny Pacquiao were fighting, there was so many delusional, and I mean delusional, Floyd Mayweather Jr. fans and Manny Pacquiao fans. When Manny Pacquiao was in his prime, when Pac-Man was in his prime, there used to be people out here saying stuff like Manny Pacquiao would be a prime Mike Tyson. Manny Pacquiao could move up to middleweight and he would have beaten Bernard Hopkins. You know, Manny Pacquiao is untouchable. Nobody could beat him. They were acting as if Manny Pacquiao had absolutely no flaws. They were ignoring Manny Pacquiao's flaws. Everybody at welterweight, nobody at welterweight could compete with Manny Pacquiao. When Floyd Mayweather Jr. was fighting, you had a lot of Floyd Mayweather Jr. fanboys acting like nobody on planet Earth, not even Jesus himself, could beat Floyd Mayweather Jr. They would only talk about his defense. His defense. His defense. Did you see his shoulder roll? Nobody could hit him. Although he got hit plenty of times, flush in the face, but nobody could hit him. They would compare, you know, past fighters like Tommy the Hitman Hearns and any past fighters. And if you would even debate them about why you think a past fighter could beat Floyd Mayweather Jr., you know, they'll just curse you out and act like you're dumb and shit. To this day, Floyd Mayweather Jr. has so many fanboys that believe that he is unbeatable. They look at him like Jesus. But that's obvious that, in my opinion, I don't care that he retired undefeated. I don't think any fighter is unbeatable. He never fought all the styles. He fought one particular style that suited him the most, and that was aggressive fighters. He fought a lot of aggressive fighters. I never really saw him fight a boxer. Did you ever really saw him fight a boxer? A guy who moved? No. I would have been very interested to see that. But Mayweather never fought a guy who moved like that, in his prime at least. He ain't fighting no boxer. When it comes to fanboys, they ignore the flaws of their fighter. I mean, I'm pretty sure when Manny Pacquiao was in his prime, and you had these guys going around saying that Manny Pacquiao could knock out Mike Tyson, a prime Mike Tyson at that. I'm pretty sure they saw Manny Pacquiao get knocked the fuck out 3 times, you know, in his prime. I'm pretty sure they saw that. But they just ignore that. I'm pretty sure they saw Manny Pacquiao get his head nearly decapitated in the first fight with Juan Manuel Marquez. You know what I'm saying? But they just ignore that. I'm pretty sure Floyd Mayweather Jr. fans, when they were going around saying nobody could beat Floyd Mayweather Jr., nobody could beat him. He's untouchable. He has the best defense in all of boxing. I'm pretty sure they saw when Mayweather, in his prime, was getting clipped by Chop Chop Corley, DeMarcus Chop Chop Corley. I'm pretty sure they saw that a prime Mayweather was getting countered and had his head do a 360-degree, you know, backflip when he got countered against DeMarcus Chop Chop Corley. You know, a lot of these fanboys act like Mayweather was untouchable, but even in his prime, Mayweather was getting hit cleanly. It wasn't like he was untouchable, like nobody could hit him. But, you know, these fanboys are delusional. When it comes to Anthony Joshua, a lot of these fanboys look at Anthony Joshua and they saw Vladimir Klitschko, you know, beating up Anthony Joshua. They saw him schooling. They saw AJ getting schooled by Vladimir Klitschko. They saw him get dropped on his ass, on his fucking ass. They saw him bloodied up. They saw his face all busted up. They saw him exhausted, out of breath. They saw him in a lot of bad spots. But they ignore that. They act like that never happened. All they focus on was what AJ did after that. Oh yeah, AJ came back. And yeah, I congratulate AJ. He showed a lot of heart and he did come back. But you also need to look at the flaws of the man. You get what I'm saying? You have to look at the flaws of the fighter as well. You get what I'm saying? When it comes to AJ, he is perceived by his fanboys as an immortal god. No man could beat him. I think these guys are going to be in for a big surprise come fight night, when Joseph Parker gives AJ a tough fight. Again, I'm not picking Joseph Parker to win. I gave you guys my reasons. I do not think that Joseph Parker is going to win a decision, especially if it goes the distance. I do not think, let me repeat myself, I do not think Joseph Parker is going to win a decision over there in the UK, in UK soil, against Anthony Joshua, who's a cash cow over there. A, because Anthony Joshua is a cash cow. B, because Joseph Parker is not a big name. And C, because everybody wants to see Anthony Joshua versus Deontay Wilder. And do you honestly think that they're going to let Joseph Parker derail that and ruin everybody making so much money from that fight? And possibly a rematch? That would be a huge money fight. And do you think they're going to let a guy from the New Zealand, Joseph Parker, derail that? You think they're going to let him do that? No. They're not going to let him derail that. So that's what I keep saying. Joseph Parker is going to have to be aggressive and try and knock out AJ and try and stop him. He's going to have to try and stop him. And I could guarantee you that whatever happens in this fight, if AJ, knocks out Parker, or if the fight goes the distance and it's a close fight, when AJ wins, or if he wins, because again, it's not a foregone conclusion, but if he wins, I guarantee you the Joshua fanboys are going to ignore all the flaws they saw in this fight. Because trust me, Joseph Parker is going to exploit some of the flaws. He's going to show you a lot of the flaws in AJ's game. He's going to catch AJ several times. You're going to see Joseph Parker snap AJ's head back. But these Joshua fanboys are going to ignore that. They're going to ignore that. And you know what they're going to start saying immediately? They're going to immediately jump on his dick, his penis, his cock. And they're going to start saying, Joshua's going to knock out Wilder. Joshua's going to knock out Wilder. That's what they're going to do. They're going to go out to every channel and say Joshua's going to knock out Wilder. Joshua's going to knock out Wilder. Wilder has no chance. They're going to talk about his fundamentals. They're not going to talk about the fact that Joshua showed flaws against Parker. They're not going to do that. They're just going to talk about the positives of what they see in Joshua. The bottom line is Anthony Joshua fanboys are underestimating Joseph Parker. They don't realize that he's an undefeated fighter. They don't realize that he doesn't know how to lose. They don't realize that he's a talent himself. They don't realize that he has ambition. He wants to win. This is a big opportunity for him. No, there hasn't been a Kiwi New Zealand undisputed heavyweight champion, a unified heavyweight champion. He wants to become a unified champion. He wants this money too. Just like, Wilder wants this big money. Joshua wants this big money. Parker wants this big money. But, these fans don't see that. They just see, maybe not these fans, these fanboys don't see that. They just see, Joshua as the immortal one. Joshua's the immortal one. And no man, no being, no mortal can defeat him. He is the God. He is the Mike Tyson of this era. That's what he is. He is perceived as the God. He is the Almighty, the God, the greatness. He shall defeat them all. That's how they see him as. I could guarantee a bunch of these Joshua fanboys got posters of Joshua, all sweaty and shit, naked, in their bedrooms and shit. When he's all tanned up and he's all like, sweaty after a workout. Maybe with a towel around his waist. I'm pretty sure a bunch of these fanboys have that poster in their freaking bedroom. And they be staring. When they wake up, they go on their knees and they bow down and they pray and say, thank you for giving me another day to live on this planet Earth. My almighty God, Joshua. Anyway, guys. If you watched the video from start to finish as per usual, much appreciated. And as always, subscribe for daily boxing video, guys. I'm very consistent. Trying to make as much videos as I possibly can today. And as always, see you guys next time. Hope you guys enjoyed. Goodbye.